Every morning, before the sun even thought about kissing the horizon, she would run. Not for fitness, not for the love of the sport, but to outrun the ghosts that chased her in the quiet hours. Her name was Alara, and her past was a shadow she couldn't shake. Each step on the pavement was a beat against the memories, a frantic rhythm to drown out the echoes of a life she left behind. The pre-dawn chill was her only companion, the empty streets, her silent confidants. This particular morning, however, was different. A new sound joined the familiar slap of her sneakers on the asphalt. It was another set of footsteps, steady and in sync with her own. She risked a glance. A man was running beside her, not too close, just keeping pace. He offered a small, easy smile, the kind that didn't demand a response. His name was Liam, and he was the new baker in town, an early riser just like her. He didn't ask questions. He just ran. Day after day, he was there, a silent presence at first, a guardian in the gray light. Their shared silence slowly filled with small talk, about the weather, about the best kind of flour for sourdough, about the way the sky turned pink and orange just before sunrise. Alara found herself looking forward to these pre-dawn encounters. Liam's presence wasn't an intrusion, it was a comfort. He wasn't trying to outrun anything. He was running towards the sunrise, towards the new day, and he was inviting her to do the same. One morning, after their run, Liam handed her a warm paper bag. "For your efforts," he said. Inside was a croissant, flaky and golden. It was the first time in years Alara had tasted something that felt like home, like a simply uncomplicated kindness. She realized that for the past week, she hadn't been running from her past. She'd been running with him. The ghosts were still there, but their voices were fainter, their grip weaker. Liam's bakery, the rising loaf, became her sanctuary after their runs. The smell of fresh bread was a stark contrast to the sterile emptiness of her apartment. She started helping him, kneading dough, her hands covered in flour. In the rhythm of the work, she found a new kind of peace. The physical act of creating something, of turning simple ingredients into nourishment, was healing. She told him bits and pieces of her story, not the whole thing, but enough for him to understand the shadows she carried. He listened without judgment, offering only his steady presence and another warm pastry. But the past has a way of catching up, no matter how fast you run. One afternoon, a man walked into the bakery. His face was a ghost from her nightmares. It was him. The reason she ran. The reason she lived in fear. Her blood ran cold, the dough she was kneading falling from her numb fingers. The air crackled with a tension only she and he could feel. He smiled, a cold, predatory smile that hadn't changed at all. "Found you," he whispered, his voice sending a tremor of pure terror through her. Panic seized her. Her first instinct was to run, to disappear again, just as she had before. She backed away, her eyes wide with fear, searching for an escape route. But then she saw Liam. He stepped in front of her, placing himself between her and the man from her past. He wasn't big or intimidating, but his stance was firm, his eyes unwavering. "She's not alone this time," Liam said, his voice calm but unyielding. The man, her ex-husband, sneered. He was used to her fear, to her running. He wasn't prepared for resistance. He took a step forward, his hand reaching for her. In that moment, something inside Alara snapped. It wasn't the flight response that had ruled her for so long. It was fight. Years of pent-up fear and anger surged through her. "Get out," she said, her voice shaking but clear. He laughed, but the sound was cut short as she grabbed a rolling pin from the counter, her knuckles white. "I said, get out." The look in her eyes was one he'd never seen before. It wasn't a frightened, broken woman, he remembered. This was someone else. Someone who had found her strength. He hesitated, taken aback by this new Alara. The standoff was broken by the bell over the door as a regular customer. The local police chief walked in for his daily coffee. Seeing the tension, he raised an eyebrow. "Everything all right in here, Liam Alara?" Her ex-husband's confidence evaporated. He shot one last hateful glare at Alara, before turning and walking out, disappearing into the street. The air in the bakery slowly returned to normal. Alara's hand trembled, the rolling pin clattering onto the floor. Liam was immediately by her side, his arm around her. She didn't crumble. She stood tall, breathing in the scent of yeast and sugar, the scent of her new life. She had stopped running from her past. She had faced it, right here in the heart of her newfound home. And she hadn't faced it alone. The next morning, she laced up her running shoes. But this time, it was different. She wasn't running from anything. As she stepped out into the cool morning air, Liam was waiting for her. A smile on his face. They ran together, side by side, not to escape the darkness behind them, but towards the promise of the sunrise ahead. The ghosts were finally quiet. Se was free. And as the first rays of dawn painted the sky, Elara smiled, a real, genuine smile. She was finally running toward her future. Thank you so much for joining me on this story. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of courage and new beginnings. See you next time.